I'm going to show you pictures right now of Justin Trudeau, not just at the Taj Mahal, but also at the Sabarmati Ashram that have just come in from, in fact, Gujarat. And they're reflective of how he is not just in Prime Minister Modi's home state, but he's without the Prime Minister. So the question that's being asked mostly in Canadian press is the Modi government snubbing the Canadian Prime Minister on his Indian visit? And if yes, why? So let's just give you some more information about that. Prime Minister Modi was with other leaders during their visits. For example, Xi Jinping, Shinzo Abe, Benjamin Netanyahu. The Prime Minister is instead visiting Karnataka, where elections are due in a few months. So Justin Trudeau will meet the Prime Minister on Friday for bilateral talks in Delhi. Top government sources have, though, strongly dismissed any speculation, mostly in the Canadian media, that the Prime Minister's absence is a snub for Trudeau and India's concerns over Sikh radicalism in Canada and support for a separate Khalistan state. Now, Nidhi Razdan gave us the lowdown on all that's happened.
Justin Trudeau's visit to India has been marred by this controversy that members of his government and he himself have been sympathetic to pro-separatist Sikh elements in Canada, Khalistani separatists as they are called. In fact, Captain Amrinder Singh, the Punjab Chief Minister, had openly accused members of Mr. Trudeau's cabinet of being separatist sympathizers, which is something that they denied. But in the background of that controversy, this visit is taking place. Government sources, however, are emphatically denying that there is any kind of snub that is happening. They've pointed out, and this is correct, that the Prime Minister breaks protocol only as an exception at the airport. For instance, even when the Japanese Prime Minister came to India, he was not received personally at the airport by Mr. Modi. And therefore, it would not be called a break of protocol if he received every visiting dignitary who came from abroad. However, what is glaring, is that the Prime Minister has not tweeted even a welcome message for Mr. Trudeau. You know, normally do see him very sort of prolific on Twitter. Mr. Trudeau is in Gujarat today, and that is the Prime Minister's home state. And most high-level visits to Ahmedabad have seen Mr. Modi accompany that leader to Ahmedabad, so he's not there. But government officials say that the Prime Minister need not accompany a visiting dignitary everywhere. And they point out that the Iranian president had gone to Hyderabad recently. The Prime Minister wasn't there. Although, of course, Gujarat is Mr. Modi's home state, so that is something that's normally considered different and special in that sense. However, government officials are stressing that the fact that this visit is happening shows that it is important, that all due protocol has been extended to the Canadian PM, and that there's no dilution of relations with Canada. A lot of these observations are actually being made by Canadian journalists who are accompanying Mr. Trudeau, who are watching events from Canada as they take place here. And this is what the government's position is, although one can see that the vibes are not as warm as they would be with other leaders.